What a great way to set the pace for the first map of this series. Welcome back everyone to Challengers Relegation and or Promotion. My name is Keg and I'm joined by Tenrec. We had just seen a very volatile map 1 between Blinn and Resonant, and it's going to be all the maps. All the maps are going to be super like this.
Yeah, there's going to be that energy maintained for sure going into this second map. Mayhaps it will be with a composition that favors Resonate a little bit better, and a map, of course, that favors them better, as they were able to take the previous bind that we saw. But we definitely saw some signs of Resonate showing, once again, what they're capable of and what got them this far. Not only through Premier, but through the tournament. Because again, it cannot be overstated the level of teams that these guys beat to get this far, including, of course, Thinking them.
Yeah, and if anyone's just tuning in now, this first map was 11-1 against Resonant. And they're the team that, I wouldn't say nearly brought it back, but bringing it to a 7-13 overall is really, really good for the team. And it just goes to show how great the endurance is, and like you said, Tenrec, most likely has been for this team in their Premier journey.
Yeah, and look, a lot of these games, a lot of the games that Resonate has played so far, a lot of it came down to first bloods. A lot of it came down to, could you start off the fight right? Could you initiate? Could you get that first peak? Could 14? You bait out that first player? And Blinn did that 14 times last game. That is what they did. Now, granted, a lot of it comes from a defense in which Resonate do not have any flashes to enter, and so Blinn College, they get a lot of dry peaks that they just get to kill off of for free. That's not going to happen on bind, but the point still stands that initiating, starting, has been so important for these teams so far. And so, question comes here on bind, which team is going to be faster? Which team is going to be first? Blinn, obviously the favorites, is everyone seems to be up and running, especially Okeanos, who ended up with 25 at the end of that map, which actually is kind of funny considering that means that he only got like 2 kills in the last like 5 or 6 rounds of the game, but that's fine.
I mean, it goes to show how well oiled up everyone on Blinn can be to help out Okeanos if he's not able to get those kills. That's huge. But going back to what you were talking about in terms of pacing, it's a fantastic point going into bind. It was the big question we had last series with Resident, and when they were going on bind themselves, it brought things to the wire. I mean, we got to see the whole gambit. Oh, hi, Kitty. Fast maps, slow maps, medium maps. I mean, it was a lot of different maps and rounds that we had seen from Resident so far that have completely had us flabbergasted, and I really hope we get to see continue on to give us more surprises.
Yeah, surprises is how Resonate has been operating, but business as usual for Blinn, apart from that little 5-round stint, is how we've been seeing them. Absolute aggression, so much capability, and aim, I'm not even going to get started with it. But starting off on the defense here, Resonate hold a lot of the cards like they did the previous time that we got to see them just earlier today up against Thinking Men. They are able to play for that slowdown a lot more. They will not rotate. They will not get baited into breaking here. It just comes down to those entrances and how much Blinn is able to occupy and lurk. And I mean, we already saw Resonate getting ready to counter that earlier on in Split.
That is absolutely true. I imagine in terms of like the big brain macro play, this is not going to be too different from Split. I think we'll see maybe more rotates come out now that Resonate has had that experience at this professional setting playing against a team on bind, that they might be willing to go for more kind of wild strats. But I think overall, in terms of just the general pacing and how both these teams really wanted to face up against each other, I think it's going to be just about the same.
It's true. If there are a couple things that I expect to change walking into bind, though, I do expect Okeanos to be sniping far, far less. On bind, he feels much more comfortable with the rifles and just raw entering, but that also means that Teague is going to be a lot faster. He's going to be backlining way less, and he's going to be walking in with these birds, a lot more consistently and quickly with Okeanos. On the other side, Resonate, we're going to see not only obviously their comp change a little bit, but with the help of their defensive tempo, they are going to be able to use those TPs so much better than Blinn. Their ability to mobilize and head to that unoccupied site has been unfettered so far this tournament. And I don't think that's going to change regardless of how stalwart Blinn tries to be. Like if they try to hold hookah, maybe they'll walk into flank, hold a tripwire, and just get a decent angle, but it doesn't mean they're going to be able to hold a candle to what Resonate has to offer, which is going to be the same comp that we saw them have last time.
I mean, KHS was so effective with the camera last time around.
Really was.
So good with the Cypher pick. And honestly speaking, we're heading into it, well, we've been in a meta since Chamber's been nerfed long ago, where Sentinel usage on Bind doesn't really exist that much anymore. So Resonate bringing out the Cypher is definitely a good change of pace. We saw the effectiveness of KHS's utility last map. It completely denied any cross-map lurking potential that other, mostly just Viper lurks tried to employ, but were completely shut down. And it just allowed early information that was so pivotal for Resonant's team that you don't normally even get with the Skybirds. So I really can't wait to see this camera come out again. I want to see with this KO pick if maybe the Cypher is pressured out of sight and maybe dialed back more. That could make KHS's day a lot more tough.
That's true. Where is T going to be throwing these knives? Is it going to be for intel, or is it going to be for breaking down that site? I would assume it's for the latter, but Monsi is also on the board, and so you might have sight all locked up. T could lurk if you're feeling really freaky about it. But we'll see after the. I think it has to come after the pistol rounds, because I think Resonate is going to destroy these pistol rounds personally.
I mean, they have been really coordinated in these pistol rounds too. They have looked. They pretty much play just like ordinary ones. So let's see here, only a few more seconds until we head into the first round. A great gamble stack from Resonant here, waiting out. Oh no, they're backing away and rotating at the very last second. That means they want to reflood into sight. Utility to do so. Looking at Velas and Conti. Well, Conti has no utility, but Velas has a wealth of it, possibly for the retrade. Smokes go down immediately here. Showers and split push for BC. Blinn might be able to find some impact here. Again, all eyes on KHS, hidden away between two smokes. This is a great way to divide out a site, a great way to plant that spike super early on and initiate these gunfights.
The early entry, KHS, able to find one before going down. And it's an important pick. It's Spaz.
Yeah,
falling
Viper
early.
util can't be used.
Yeah, that's a really good pick. Great targeting by KHS, but is it enough? Blinn have already taken a lot of this site up. And yeah, Monty's got Dizzy back in the tank. That should be all she wrote. Mikey, good for 4. Why not? Get that orbital strike online already. Blinn up for 1.
Holy. I mean, Velas had used all of his utility before the spike had even gone down, or at least the important utility, and there wasn't really much in terms of leverage that Resonant could do to take back the site. When you bring out a Brimstone, you're expecting these very fast burst-heavy executions because his smokes don't regenerate. You use them with a purpose, and Resonant, they weren't able to retake that site back, even when they did manage to take down Spas first. This is a good indicator for Blinn now. They may be able to challenge A a lot more often than other teams have in the past. We'll have to wait and see now.
Right there.
No utility at all from KHS. This is looking like a death ball procedure. KHS wants to play a one and done.
I do like this. I think that it prevents Resonate from being able to commit to anything other than stacking. And so you're able to let people like Spaz just kind of go do what he wants to, which is see if there's any flankers coming through sand. There are not. Everybody
They're really expecting someone to swing showers.
Yeah, everybody from Resonate's already here. This is really crazy, dude. Blinn actually might not have a good shot at this if they commit.
Well, hold on, though. Look at this push-up from Spas. He's not going to see anybody on B. This might just save the ambush for Blinn.
Do they just dip? They got 45. Yeah, he's just going to go...
They can. They could take that Viper Wall back over to TP and be fine.
It's like he's in
maybe
a custom,
lose one body.
It's like he's in a custom practicing lineups right now.
Oh, he's going to overextend. He's going to play for spawn. He's good for at least one here.
And noise is cut. Blinn will run on over to B site. This
30
is
seconds left.
Incredible. How far is Spaz going to go here? Is he going to give himself away before this team commits to Spike?
No, he's going to play so deep in. You're not going to check that corner if you're Res.
Oh my god. Bye-bye, Conti. Bite in the back, and in we go. Blinn College. They really want to guarantee this. KHS still has a Sheriff, so gotta keep watch, but this is just great to make sure that Blinn can retain that economic mobility, which...
Oh, what a great smoke,
better
too.
And better. Yeah, this is... some great
At this
stall.
point,
yeah, you just got to play to die. If you're Resonate, round's already over.
Great capitalization off of Conti. I'm sorry, off of Spas. That was entirely his round to win.
Well done.
This could have been devastating, given the fact that Rez were completely hidden behind green box and lamps, waiting to ambush as soon as that spike was beginning to plant. That is a great coordinated round, and this is the blend that we need to see going forwards if they want to make it the Challengers. And a great capitalization again for Conti too, for Spaz taking down Conti and not overextending. He didn't play a one and done. He joined the rest of his team again to ensure that there will be more bodies on site. Because with Rez, you never really know.
It's true. So coming into the bonus, Resonate this time do have everything saved up. But where do you go? I mean, Blinn, they haven't given away too much of the playbook yet. They've gotten to
This is a nice spot.
do some really cheeky stuff and prevent Resonate from really getting themselves into the post plant.
This should do.
And the pre-plant has been enough of a gate crash for Blinn to not really warrant any response yet. I mean, if you're
I don't think they change.
yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can really do.
Blinn's gonna run this same exact style of comp on AXX until it doesn't work anymore. they will just keep smothering this economy of Rez. Now keep in mind, some of the thinking men, no flank util available for BC. Someone has to watch that. Rez capitalized on a lot of flanks last time around.
Spike's ticking. Thanks for the
Spaz
man.
just gonna hold that TP down so that all of Shower is guaranteed. No one can head back, so everyone's got to come through CT. Resonate yet again. Have to take a bigger bite out of this sandwiched site. So much being held, particularly from Lamps, actually. If they can
Great flash.
scope that out, but Okeanos is not checked enough.
Oh.
AKA not killed first.
One enemy remaining.
My ace? My ace? Oh,
No!
Conti plays spoiler. And a little bit more before falling to Blinn, who are now 3-0.
I think the onus now goes to Rez. Like, okay, are you gonna 5-stack A and try to go? You can't even go for that strat. You can't. If you do go for that strat, it would have to be like a 5-stack on B site, have Cypher Cam on A. You can't allow a deep lurk like Spaz did in round 2 happen again. Really ever in this match. That is a complete failure of the Sentinel util. And look, man, almost everybody would fall for that.
No longer A to start out, as Resonate is back on the tough buy. It seems that Blinn want to pick off some scraps first before they can guarantee this next fight, just to make sure. And they will do that perfectly. Monsi
Spike
holding.
down B.
Actually, we'll let go of Spike here in the 1v3. So still one to clear, and Kaho gonna be a little bit brave here just to maintain Spike. There's a bird. That's brave. Mikey able to counter it. And that's one of the only opportunities he really had gone. Good attempt from Blinn, or from Rez to
One enemy remaining.
more than good of it, but they'll just settle for the good in taking down Monsi. Otherwise, 4-0.
Yeah, this is just a dismantlement thus far of Rez. It's definitely capable of bringing it back, though. They just need to be able to get the snowball of their economy going. I would say normally this could be a great swing round for the team, but 4 in a row now, and Blinn have pretty much maxed out their economy. It's a swing round for Resonant. They need to win this round or they're going to be suffering the same fate of just broken buys and sheriff rounds. And realistically speaking, they're not holding the defense bad at all. They're playing super well to the strengths of their agents. The issue is that there's just these tiny nuances of spacing that Blinn have been able to capitalize on. I like this default though. This might be the best hold we've seen from Rez thus far. This early smoke promotes utility to be used past the smoke and drains it away from Blinn. That's what Rez wants, this permanent smoke. Deny space as much as humanly possible and look to his back. This time though with a camera against Spaz. This will catch out a flank no matter what.
I think this is a much better defensive spread because it recognizes all the pressure that Blinn has been continuously putting on B long while also still respecting A short that Blinn is also going to inevitably occupy. And now Rez are able to deny both. I mean, Spaz has to leave now because of this cam getting shot down at least for a couple seconds, and there was so much thrown at Blinn's attack on B long that they can't enact off of that. And so now you're stuck back in market with honestly a util burn that you can be proud of if you're Resonant.
This is scary. Camera got shot out.
Yeah.
Resonant fully know this is an A exec. Thrash denied completely. Shower control not in Blinn's favor.
Yeah, this is really good.
They have
And
no parts of the site.
Also catching KHS really gets to let his
30 seconds
wings spread this round. Now those wings have been clipped. KHS has not, though. And Kaho, as a holding from the back, leads to a solid crossfire that Rez can use to take it all home. 3 now for the Cypher to get Resonate their first round of the game. Like you said, Blinn just could not break through.
Yeah. All big mistake of rotating after that camera was shot out.
Yep.
If had they even just stopped and reset themselves, go back to B, that would have been a winning round for Blinn. Just keep Resonant on their toes. But the timer was running through, and the expectation was that it would be a split push through showers. But when Thrash denied completely, it kind of put a big wrench in the plans of Blinn when they were already too dedicated. So now Blinn have to be a little bit more careful when they come to their final initiation. KHS is slippery with this utility, bringing out cameras that, look, I don't know if Blinn's ever scrimmed Resonant before, but more likely than not, they haven't seen these cams. It's going to be a big surprise.
There's some fun ones, for sure. Okeanos is going to try and dodge this trapwire, cannot. But the orbital strike to guarantee that KHS is here, so Okeanos, band for band to get on site. Resonate gonna toss those Seekers and Dog out very early on. They want to take this site back early, but Spike's already down and everyone's already vacated, so all they really have is the site itself, which Velis will use to at least grab 1 kill, but with everyone else from Blinn so far spread, this is so difficult for them.
Great night.
Now, yeah, no util either. Mikey for 3. Oh, almost make it 4, but Kaho a little too ready for it. Blinn, though, get their 5th.
I mean, we talked about how the Cypher might be an unknown factor going into this, but the KO all the same. You're not expecting to have a suppressing knife hit you from behind a wall inside of elbow, and yeah, Resonant, they recognize now that they had some success in that 1 round, and they've been able to put this pressure on Blinn, but they haven't been able to finish it out. A timeout's needed here. Now, given what we've seen before, I don't think this is necessarily for them to cool down. This is definitely a strat change. It's hard to say what they want to do from here. I could see more proactivity coming through from the team. They're giving a lot of space away to Blinn early on, and even when they just dump utility, it's up to Blinn to just wait it out, reset, and then re-hit that initial site. So Resonant, they have to find a way to take this early space and really be a threat within the first 30 seconds of a round without expending too much utility.
And that's so hard without being super aggressive.
Yeah, and they wasted all their ults.
Yeah. Where do we go now? Is that gonna get struck? Sorry.
So let's see. So the biggest thing you could do right now is protect Conti to get that orb outside of showers. Maybe then you could use Viper's Pit inside of showers? It's hard to tell. No, instead they're going to try to get orb and B and lock down B long. That's also a smart maneuver. But Blinn have favored A site. That's a really tough call to make because you just might be promoting that team to go into where they feel most comfortable.
You can dictate where they go. It does, like you said, have to be in those first 30. And again, a very dominant presence early on in B main that actually is met this time by the knife from Teague. That's where I was headed.
Conti didn't grab the orb.
No.
Okay.
I believe Kaho did.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
So Viper's Pit is not the plan this round.
I guess not.
It has to be for next round then.
It must be to try to bait everyone over to A, because if you pit, then that'll be too tough to not go for if you're Blinn, because then you know the Cypher's on the other side.
Right there.
Back over to B.
Shutting them down.
Another knife into B main here. Oh, Okeanos not ready for Conti to hold so early, but once again, he's just used his body to trade off of Monsi, hoping to say the same thing after grabbing his, but Kaho's in a bit of a tougher spot. So is Andrew, and with Kaho's help, is able to deal with the other two inside main. And another crunch will let Resonate get that second round off. Blinn just not prepped for Resonate's hold, and while it wasn't the first 30 seconds of them being, you know, up close, they took that first 30 to get to a place in which Blinn College met them far too early.
Yeah, that is a tough one. At least though the ult cycling for Rez is looking better into this next one. Again, Viper's Pit, one big note to point out. They can start snowballing this economy. And Resonate, they have a lot of opportunities here. That bit, look at that defensive Viper wall. That is purposely designed just to block out top of Hookah alongside the Viper's Pit and the very itty-bitty beginning here of A main. And that way, in theory, Blinn wants to still go for A site. They'll have to contest showers.
But they won't. They'll just head up short. They're going to try and bank off of this one screen to get through.
Ball didn't even activate.
There it goes. You're not even putting the screen on. Oh, they're turning the orb on. They tried to bait the peek out into the wall so that they'd have a crossfire, but nobody buckled to it. That's insane.
No way. That's way too over-engineered.
Okay, that's a lot to throw in, but it works, I guess. We pinch showers, and yeah, Spike is still ticking. I mean, yeah, Resonator kind of stuck at this point.
Time to hunt.
Yeah, at this point now, you just want to try to even up the numbers and take away as many guns as possible. Could be a possibility. I mean, realistically here, you want to challenge the Spike to allow Kaho to possibly get Sky Seekers into the next round.
There's one
Okay,
for
or Conti.
He's going to look for another here. Yeah, he wants to keep fast from
Enemy
Molly.
remaining.
There it is. Oh, and Mikey down too. Wow. Very well met by Resonate. And they will have, I think, just enough time.
Oh.
Yup. Well done, guys. That was great.
Yeah, that was really calculated. And this isn't the first time we've seen like these big detrimental deficits where Resonate has been able to take it back. We saw that on Split 2 between Andrew, I believe, and was it Velas? Yeah, and Velas, where they were stuck in a B-site 2v3 and they just spray transferred unbelievably to send it back into a pivotal round that they needed. You cannot underestimate this team. And I think Blinn has learned that lesson very painfully over the last map and a half now.
Yeah, a couple times at this point. Hey, if there's one thing that Blinn players love doing, it's getting educated. It's learning.
Oh my god. Wow. I mean, they must have a degree in Valorantology at this point. Yeah. Okay, good smoke's coming down. You want to divide out at least 2/3 of the site in order to have safe control. CyberCage gives great audio cues. KHS can just spam everything.
Not checking for Oak, who can just tap back now. Hey, Spaz with the flank watch this time. And everybody's stuck. That's the I mean, and this is the point at which Blinn College has basically won all of the rounds they've won up until this point. This is when the rounds tend to be decided. We are still clutchless today.
No, we had one clutch last map.
Oh, did we? Oh,
from Monty.
Oh, my fault. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. It was. Oh, and we didn't even say Zippo. Dude, we're so bad.
Oh, there we go. Lighting things up, though. Good for Velas, but it's far too late. There's no way.
No. Is he gonna still take this fight? Oh, he does at least once. But, yeah, that's definitely around going to Blinn. And again, it's a point in which like these rounds are decided a lot of the time before the spike even falls, just because of these opening picks, and Blinn was the one to find him this time. And with that flank watch, that was really unstopped. Spaz grabs one, and then Velas kind of had to like question all of his life choices for a couple seconds.
I like this though from Mikey. Now we've seen the fast takes on B before. I mean, it's been absolute chaos whenever there's been a post plant. But if Mikey can confirm either the orb or allow Okeanos, you have 3 options here to have just an impactful ultimate to take over B site. It's like a kid in a candy store here for Blinn, depending on how they want to play this out. And not that they know this yet, but it works even better because there's no players in Octagon. That Viper Wall comes up, stalls out completely. You have a free orb access right there and then to activate an ultimate to push in. Oh no. It's even better!
Spike
Big
down.
counter aggro from RESO. That is still netted in the way of Blinn due to just how many people there are, so Resonate still have to take this 2v3, and Spaz is going to throw that pit into the mix too.
I mean, you do have the neural threat from KHS to help out here. 2 cyber cages too, plenty of util from Andrew as well. A lot of info gathering that these two could use to take it back.
Okeanos is getting tired
remaining.
of fighting KHS through the wall. So Andrew, the one left, and I think he's also going to save here.
Yeah, economy's not looking good. Not looking great right now. And this was a similar issue that, we've seen from Resonate in the past, where they have a hard time keeping their economy afloat, even in rounds where they begin to snowball things. They overinvest and still take a lot of bodies away when they do confirm those rounds. And not only that now, you only have a few rounds left in this first half. Not the best showcase, especially with a double, semi-sentinel setup here. To block out Blinn from taking these fights and taking site control. This Cypher has been not nearly as effective as it was against thinking men.
And now it's questionable where KHS can go yet again.
Andrew's 1-6.
Yikes, dude.
I mean, at this point, you need Andrew needs to be activated somehow. He's just sitting back of sight, and it's just a body for post plans.
Yeah, you haven't even really been able to trade him off of anyone that often, but when you can, it just doesn't feel like enough. Blinn are going to go for a very aggressive opening here with the showstopper from Okeanos as Spaz holds down Sand to grab his. That's the only presence on B side. They were really waiting for this RESO, and no one else will fall just yet, but Spike will go down for free here, and Blinn have a lot of different angles to hold without too much fear of
clear.
Anybody else coming in, but Hookah's already occupied, and Okeanos is in a very dangerous spot for that. Never mind, he'll just get blocked up by KHS on the regular approach. Ult tossed in.
One enemy remaining.
On behalf of Mikey to open the rest of the board, and Blinn can reposition, find their kills, and retain stability for round 11.
Before the switch.
Yeah, it's just so hard for Resonate to hold on to B site. They haven't found the perfect answer yet. No matter what kind of utility or players or placements they put down, it just feels like Blinn do the same exact strat to execute onto site. How do you shut down Okeanos? 11-7, a pretty comparable scoreline, I suppose. But how do you shut him down from taking so much space? It's the firepower that leads behind him that's been the true issue. So many just waves of bullets, I suppose. A default comes out from Blinn. Change of pace once again. Expectation now for this final round is that Resonate should be playing aggressive and change their own pace to maybe confirm this fourth little sneaky round and feel decent for the next half. Not the case though. They're holding contact angles everywhere.
Yeah, it is all contact. Even off the cam. This is hyper aggro from Resonate, and it's only netted them slightly negative trades so far. And
oh my god!
The null command, an immediate response to the showstopper. It's just so instantaneous. Andrew is not allowed to do a thing this half. And Blinn walks right into A site, completely unstoppable.
At this point, stunned already. Hard to take back sight. I mean, at this point, it's already over.
You have every piece of util in the world. Conti can clear lamps back up, will fall to the incendiary. And now you have only one direction you have to look. It's Velis who will give himself away to Mikey. And Blinn are 4 rounds away. I will go on, and this might be the closest they've gotten. Actually, no. Well,
no, they did with YFP. I think they got like a round away. I think, was it like a 13-11?
It was close. It was very close. But this is 4 rounds out with a 6-round lead. Blinn has never been this close to making challengers. And the time is now, for sure. Pistol round, are you kidding me? This is when you absolutely execute. They're going to 4-stack on B for it. I
mean, they evaded their bracket demons in this tournament. Thinking Men was the team to eliminate them in the championship qualifier game for the upper bracket. It was the Glazers who got the qualifier through Challengers, beating Blinn in the lower bracket. This is Blinn's time to take that revenge. Maybe not necessarily directly, except for the Glazers, but this is a way to really exact that dominance over.
Big walk in to start out along B long. Blinn looking for a fight, and Velis will be the one that they find for some damage onto Monsi. But nothing else. Rest of Resonate gonna scope out the entrances of B, as everyone's here now, making sure that got our T's crossed and our I's dotted along A. Flankers, a lot of presence here in B long that is here for the actual fight. Mikey controls it all. Spike is now down, and so the rest of Blinn, they may reconsider as well. Teague sidestepping, making sure nobody is coming through Hookah as well. And now being smoked out, KHS will probably have to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, just wait for the smoke to dissipate. Put the fire on Brim. Maybe then a lucky pre-fire possibly on the KO? No, perma smoke instead.
Another
Unlucky.
one.
This is tough. I mean, if anything, maybe the call could be made from the Viper that their KO's right underneath. That'd be huge to remove Teague at the very least. Get rid of those cross-contact angles.
30 seconds
30 seconds left, though. Oh, not even. That knife, it should have discovered. I believe it discovered KHS.
It must have. I believe he meant
We just didn't see the UI.
though, but yeah, I mean, he's unchecked for long enough for it to not matter. So that'll be a swift cleanup for Blinn, and huge advantage rolls over to them for the map, the series, the title, the challenger spot, the game against SAD Esports, RIP. But this is looking really clean.
I mean, we're right where we started on Split in the second half. It was 11-1. Resonate has 2 extra rounds to work with than they did then. And they were able to convert that 11-1 to 11-7 and ultimately still lost it out. So Resonate, they have to make this miracle work. They force buy here. They know if they lose this round, it could be part of the inevitable. But they have to find a way to clear these guns away from Blinn and destroy their economy. That's first and foremost. It's far, far easier said than done.
Yeah.
Very little information's given here.
And KHS has been found by that knife, too.
Yeah, keep in mind, too, one flash, that's one critical piece of info gathering gone now. 1:14 left on the clock. That's the only flash Kaho had.
Yeah, you have Dog and Boombot, and that is it. For intel, you have 0 flashes now to get in. So how do you do this? Well, you hope and pray that somebody's stupid. Spaz, almost stupid, but spots a shoulder before getting punished. So Velis will get goaded away. 45 seconds to go and Resonate still have not found anything, but they are determined to look for something that could work. So they will head back on over to A site, where there is slightly less presence. There is no swift hold along short. There is no immediate counter-aggression.
Blinn aren't going to fall for this fake either. They know full well this should be a rotate over towards
left.
I mean, yeah, the steps are heard. They're not giving. They're going to give themselves away here. The fight is what matters. KHS has already been found out. Has to act quickly. Not quickly enough. Mike takes him down. Rest of Resonate onto the front lines of sight.
Oh,
and
no
they'll
way.
use that to escape via the TP. 10 seconds
Timing's
to
be
go.
tough.
If Spaz founds the right kill here, then it's going to be a guarantee. No round at all. Snakebite to stop him, but Spaz is able to kill Kaho.
1
Doesn't
second.
matter. Conti does have enough time to get the spike
Spike
down,
planted.
and the round will somehow, some way, go on.
3v5, weapon disadvantage. Positional disadvantage, though. Just everywhere you look, bodies are falling. And just the last one left, cornered in every which way, forced for the reload. Spaz is there. 11-3 now. And Tenrek, this is 2 rounds away now for Blinn to become part of Challengers.
You really got to hand it to Resonate, though. They really were searching for something. Some mistake.
Yeah,
They checked
I
everywhere.
mean, they don't even necessarily love to play around the teleporters of Bind. A lot of teams use those teleporters as the facet to rotate very quickly. But, I mean, for them, they're willing to take that time and play extra slow, put that doubt in the minds of the enemy team. But Resonate's also done that a lot. Like, Blinn can only fall for that so many times. And considering 2 players were able to pressure out 5 fully broken by players, it's not a great look for Resonate.
Monty, what to throw in response to this hyper push, everything, and with the help of the snake bite, nobody else can get on sight. Spaz has this under his control completely. 3 now, and Kaho just wants to take the fight early on to try to trade, but there's still all this util on the ground. 4 for Spaz. And another attempt for Resonate.
Match point.
Absolutely wiped. Now, 9 rounds of cushioning for Blinn to work with. 1 away from Challengers.
I mean, if there's a miracle now, Resonate needs it. At least they have that buffer room again of the upper bracket. They could still be the confirming team in the lower bracket here, but you definitely don't want to take that risk. But we've seen this 3-12 scoreline before from them.
Let's see how it goes.
And while it might not be the end of the world, might not be the final round, it hasn't been a case where Resonate's been able to bring it back so far.
Attempt number 1 for them. We'll have Conti lurk in showers, while the rest peek through B main. And again, it's Teague holding so early here to see if he can scope out anything.
No util used yet, really. Gecko blind set up and ready too.
He's gonna throw that the second he hears steps. Can you go
And then
this
the wall's
out?
gonna come up.
Can you maybe rotate and then just like go insane crazy? Oh no. Wow. Huge early kill here. But Andrew's on site, has some height, has some space. Can open it up for Resonate maybe? No. They'll take the TP and they'll go to meet Teague. So how many can Teague find here? He does have a smoke, so they have to know that he's here. Yeah, Conti's just gonna check it and kill it. Easy. Okeanos with that lurk watch though is able to take care of KHS. So it'll be a late retake here for Blinn, but it will be a 3v3. Resonate setting up shop. Truck and lamps. Where do you come from first? Blinn's execute has to be perfectly timed here if they want it. In 16. Styles gives himself away a little early. Enough time for Andrew to reset. Grab the first fight. Okeanos hops down, spots Andrew's head, but there's no time to waste. And Mikey,
great molly,
on the way from short, is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting later on in this. Andrew's been found out, but Velis has not. And that's going to be the round for sure. Resonate will hold on at least once. Keep too stable for their fourth.
What a fantastic post plan from Resonate there. Velis especially. The fact that we saw them all group up together and not play individual angles and cross contact was so smart. They were playing for tradability. They were looking to have, a double swing, a triple swing, even if possible. And really as a team looking to cover each other's backs. Plus, the utility from Velis just played for the stall. This was a post plant where Resonate had no idea where Blinn was going to come in from. And so now again, we could very well be towing the line yet more. We'll have to wait and see. One player on A site for Blinn. And it's not even the Viper's Pit for that orb given. No, not even. It's just a massacre.
Wow.
Poison orb emitting.
And it's check this time. No, he is not! He's just gonna ram it of himself! No other help needed! And school is back in session! Blinn has made it into Challengers. Keg, I never thought I would see the day, really, at this point. But they finally did it!
I mean, this is the moment we've been waiting for, right? I mean, Blinn was a team in the second qualifiers that was just millimeters close from bringing it back. And it seemed like from qualifiers 1 to 2, they were that team that missed the boat the first time, and they somehow missed it the second. This was their time to shine, and everyone knew they'd make it through the upper bracket. Now the big question is, okay, who's the other team? That's the big question now.
That's true. And Resonate has made a case among the 3 remaining teams to be that team for sure. The way that they were able to meet Blinn when they were at their fullest which granted was not that often, but when they had that full kit, they looked very dangerous. Even for retakes, they were able to isolate the right fights. And when they had that pack mentality, they were nigh unstoppable. But man, oh man, Blinn's got some really good aimers on their team, don't they? And their timing was so incredible across all of that. They played both sides like a fiddle, and they never backed down.
Yeah, just to speak on Resonate one more time, I really enjoyed their gameplay. I had my doubts in the beginning, but they're a team that I would look forward to casting every single event they're in. I really hope they play more, but all the congratulations to Blinn. They absolutely deserve this. They've been the most coordinated and structured team we've seen outside of Challengers.
And just for those counting, that is an undefeated run from the start of Premier for Blinn up until now. They have yet to lose I think map, actually.
Yeah.
That might be wrong. They might have dropped one. But yeah, they dropped a map to Van Lin. But apart from that, they have been undefeated since the beginning of Premier. They are so good right now. They were ready for Challengers before this offseason qual even started, and they are more ready than ever. Now, look at that again. It all came off of first kills, Keg. We've seen this every map. Nearly identical, and this time it is.
Win condition for every single one of these teams in the upper bracket so far. Get those opening kills. Make sure you can capitalize off of it. Blinn, fantastic all the way through on Bind. They looked perfection on it, and they went through some of the weirdest strats we have seen so far, especially on the attacking side, and they brought it home. They never looked like they were unconfident. They always had a plan in mind.
And it was a team effort the whole way through. Mikey may count as that MVP, and 3 first
Absolutely
frags
deserved.
as a Brimstone is ridiculous, by the way. But really, everyone on this Blinn team put in so much work for this map and this match, for that matter. All 5 of these players look insane. This team looks insane.
I'm telling you, give Mikey like 2 or 3 years, you'll see him in franchise. I've been so impressed with this player for about a year now. Every single time I've had the opportunity to watch him, he's always had some sort of enormous clutch. And it's always been the big anchor for the team. And an MVP to qualify for the Challengers doing so is just icing on the cake.
Yeah, that's definitely something that they can be happy about. I'm excited to see, how these players are feeling, after that match. That's got to be super exciting for them, and all of them have been in this game for so long to make it this far. I think this is the first time any of them have gotten to VCL as well on any team. So
yeah.
this is a big moment for them. So real big congratulations to them. But hey, job's not finished, guys. We still got another day of this tournament, man. Resonate is going to go on to face the winner of Thinking Men versus Glazers. Gompers and Marks are going to be covering both of those matches tomorrow, and it is going to be a hoot and a holler keg. I gotta be honest. I know we jinx. I know we say a lot of stupid stuff. I know we're literally casters, but who do you think is going to be this other qual team?
Thinking Men. That was my prediction going into this. I thought for sure Blinn would have no issue at all taking revenge of the 2 teams that knocked them out down in the last qualifier and bring things to the winning side. But Resonate has really thrown a wrench in those plans. It really comes down to Thinking Man, and I think a revenge run against Resonate. And I don't want to give you a cop-out answer. I truly do not know who's going to win that.
It really is so tight over here in the relegation tournament, except for Blinn, apparently, because they just look so comfortable. But for these last 3 teams, any of them deserve a spot in Challengers. 2 of them already had them, but there has already been a stiff changing of the guard. Will it be a complete changing? Blinn College will face off against SAD Esports in the round of 12 in the mid-season cup coming up in about a week and a half. But like I said, tomorrow, the remainder of the promo, Relo, Tourney, Glazers, Thinking Men, and Resonate. Gompers and Marks taking you there. We'll catch you there. Bye-bye.